Hello, bio students, one and all, and welcome to Chapter 16 on mammals. This chapter hopefully shouldn't be too hard. Mammals are pretty familiar to us, right? If we went to write down 10 animals off the top of our head, odds are we'd probably pick 10 mammals. Maybe a bird or two, maybe a fish, but most of the time it'd be elephant. Well, that's a mammal. Tiger, mammal, etc., etc. Most of the time we're not going to pick, trypanosome, a microorganism. Probably not. But anyway, let's introduce mammals on 6.1. Even in the scriptures you'll find two main characteristics of mammals. Every living creature that moveth. Mammals share the characteristics of mobility, or movement, and diversity. Some animals, a kingdom which mammals are in, are sessile, meaning they do not move. So there are very few animals that do not move, but there are some. Symmetry in the animal kingdom. Biologists recognize three symmetries within the animal kingdom. The first one is bilateral, second one's radial, third is asymmetrical. You already know this, probably. Bilateral is like a beetle, where you can split it in half, and it has about the same on each side. Radial, you can split it at any point, so like a polyp or a jellyfish. Sponge has no symmetry, no pattern to it, just kind of grows. True or false, you are a bilateral creature. My wife says, she doesn't think we are.
I would go true.
It is true. You are bilateral.
Technically you are the same.
Now,
You have your heart on one side.
Now your heart is technically on one side, so is your liver, a couple other things, but for the most part, if you divide yourself in half, you are symmetrical. Vertebrates, special backbone. So Animalia is a kingdom. And remember, Linnaeus said it goes kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, species. The phyla is chordates, based on the presence of a backbone. So if you have a backbone, you're called a vertebrate. You're a member of the chordata phyla. And if you do not have a vertebrae, you're an invertebrate. So you can see here, these are the backbone ones, classified in chordata, and these are not. They're classified in other things. Vertebrates have an endoskeleton, or an inside skeleton. Most are tetrapods, meaning they have four appendages. Snakes are unique in that they're not tetrapods. However, they are vertebrates, so there are some exceptions to the rule. Very few, though. Continuing on. We have kingdom, phylum, class, and the class is actually the class of mammals. That is pretty far down. So all you have now is order, family, genus, and species. And so the class is Mammalia, phylum is Chordata, kingdom, Animalia. Mammals have the characteristic of warm blood, mammary glands, and hair-filled bodies. All mammals share these characteristics. If they do not, they're not a mammal. Warm blood is also known as homeothermic. Let's break down that word. What does it mean? Well, we know thermos, or thermic, means heat. Homeo, where have we seen that word? It's not homo. It's not same. It's homeo. We've heard that word homeostasis. A balanced, so heat balance is actually what that word means. That means that you have a stable, balanced internal temperature of approximately 98 or so degrees. I was actually reading an article recently that our overall temperature has gone down as access to, 97.3, my wife says, as access to healthcare increases and our bodies change, and the article actually said that one of the main things was probably the increase of hormones in the food actually changed our body temperatures, and that's strange. So technically, if our body temperature has decreased overall, then maybe a fever, the qualifications for a fever have lowered. That'd be kind of cool. Some animals have the ability to hibernate, live off of their fat reserves. Their temperature drops close to freezing as well. And the last couple of things here, I want to run one thing by you before I close out the PowerPoint. But special organs. Mammals have lungs that work through a muscular diaphragm, allows air to be inhaled and exhaled. I don't know why I got cut off there, sorry. But anyway, the diaphragm actually increases the volume of the lungs. Actually is a unique illustration of Boyle's law. You remember that in chemistry. Boyle's law says pressure 1 times volume 1 equals pressure 2 times volume 2. You increase pressure, you increase volume, you decrease pressure. So the diaphragm actually increases the volume of the lungs. It decreases pressure in the lungs, and air moves from high pressure to low pressure. So air moves from outside to inside. It's not actually that you're sucking in air like, right? I mean, I guess you can, but air naturally flows into your body because of the decrease in pressure caused by Boyle's law. Very cool. And then, of course, when you exhale, it decreases the volume, which increases the pressure, which forces air out of your body. Additionally, mammals have 4-chambered hearts. They have 2 atria, 2 ventricles. Of course, there's lots of differences. You have, in some mammals, a very, very small heart. Not really a very complicated septum and pericardium and valves or anything. But many times, mammals' hearts are very, very similarly designed. So much so that you can substitute, for instance, a pig's and a human's heart. Valves, I should say. Most mammals have placenta, which nourishes a young baby. The embryo is further protected by amniotic fluid during the gestational period. Some give live birth, are known as viviparous. Paris means birth. Vivi means life, or alive. That's where we get our word vivify, to make alive. Others lay eggs and are known as oviparous. Ovi means egg. Paris, of course, birth. Egg birth. Is man a mammal? What a question for, 9 o'clock in the morning? Yeah, 9:30. Is man a mammal? My wife says yes. Let us make man in our image, after our likeness, and let them have dominion. Genesis 1:26. Even though man was created in the same day as mammals, has the same physiological shape as mammals, is man a mammal? That's kind of a good one. Your textbook goes into kind of a tirade about that, how man is special above the animals, and technically should not be classified according to Carolus Linnaeus' system. Though I will say that man has all the characteristics of an animal, or of a mammal, from live birth to mobility, etc., etc., etc. And so technically you could classify man as a mammal. But let's take a look at our Google Chrome. We're going to type in Homo sapiens, or us. So human. Hey, look what comes up. I was going to make a joke and say that's one of the members of the class, but hold on. My wife needs me to pause the video just a second. Alright, we're back. Which is good, because I had a problem with the one web page I was opening. So I got to fix it. Anyway, let's take a look. We are on Wikipedia, of course, and on the right you can see the kingdom, phylum, class, order, family, species we are assigned to. The problem is with the mammalian classification. Okay, mammals, cool. But we may start to disagree here. Order, are we primates? Like, are we those creatures that arose, it says, 85 to 55 million years ago? Or our family, hominids. Hominids are the great apes. I mean, you can even open up the Wikipedia website and here, look. You see a picture of 2 Mongolian kids and a whole bunch of apes. So, you know, it's kind of hard to say. Even our genus, Homo, is something that evolutionists say we share with Homo erectus, Homo neanderthalis, Homo habilis, Homo africanus, and many, many other species that they say died out a very long time ago. And you can research even on Wikipedia all the there are 737 fragments of bone that they say are Homo neanderthalis. That they're a small species, and that, you know, etc., etc. So, to answer our question, are we a mammal? Book says not really. I say kind of. Yes, we have the characteristics of a mammal. No, we have not evolved and are not some advanced great ape that somehow became free-thinking about 100,000 years ago. Homo sapien breaking off from all the rest of the lineages of humankind. So, anyway, hopefully I've given you something to think about. Make sure you do section review 16.1, numbers 1 through 8. And thank you for tuning in for this lesson on mammals in chapter 16. Hope you have a good day.